Okay, so tonight's vlog is gonna go in a little different order. I did do the shots, so that part is gonna be at the end of the video. But my nightly routine, just kind of goes like this. So, I have uh, two progesterone pills. So the doctor prescribed me Prometrian. I think that's how it's pronounced, Prometrium. 200 milligrams, but this is a generic version, so it's just progesterone. So I was taking 3 before, but when I went to have my transfer, my estrogen was high, so they decreased these pills by 1, so now I'm taking 2. And I take those 2 pills for bedtime. So I just wanted to answer a couple of questions that I've been getting since I posted my last video. Okay, so the first question was, why did I start? And so March 2011, my little sister was shot in the crossfire of a gang-related shooting. And before we knew if she could have kids, I offered to carry a baby for her, like if at any point in life she wanted to have a kid, because we didn't really know. So, well, now I'm the aunt of a healthy 4-year-old little boy. We were actually pregnant at the same time, and our sons are 2 days apart. So then one day I was having a conversation with one of my friends from high school, and he's gay, so we were talking about kids, and he was telling me how he wanted kids, and I was like, yeah, I definitely carry a baby for you. Like, if you didn't find anybody to do it, I'd do it for you. So that was definitely, like, way before I had thought about carrying kids for, like, an agency, but after that, it seemed like I will always see these promotions to sign up for an agency. And I will always sign up, but like, as soon as they would contact me, I would just be like, no, like, kind of shy away from it. But then my older cousin reached out to me, and she was like, I'm thinking about being a surrogate, and I don't want to do it by myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I've been thinking about doing this for ever. So we signed up through an agency, and that's how I met my intended parents. So I don't know them personally. The couple that I'm caring for, I met through the agency, and we had a video chat, conference call, and I was given the option to choose if I wanted to care for them. I learned a little bit about their background and why they wanted to have kids, and they learned about me and what I was doing for my free time and who would help me through the entire process and everything, and we just kind of got to know each other. I think it was like a 35-minute to an hour call. And that's kind of how I ended up carrying their baby. So another reason, of course, that I chose to become a surrogate is because there are so many women in the world who are unable to carry children themselves, and I feel like if I can do it, I would love to be able to help, somebody, even if it's just like one couple. I'd be happy to be able to help somebody and hand them their baby at the end of the 9 or 10 months and be able to see that smile on the face when they get their baby. So I had my son at 38 weeks, so that was like, 40 weeks is 10 months-ish. I don't know. So some people wanted to know how my son felt about it, and basically I just let him know that mommy's going to be pregnant, but mommy's not going to bring a baby home because mommy's just carrying the baby for somebody else whose tummy isn't able to carry a baby. And I explained it that way just because I didn't want him to think that he would have a brother or sister. I just wanted him to know that I was going to be doing something for somebody else. Like, I'm going to use my stomach because she can't use her stomach to carry the baby. So, well, uterus technically, but for him, stomach. So that's how that came to play. And he's actually been very good at understanding that. So when people ask, or he'll just sometimes volunteer the information. He'll say, my mommy's going to carry a baby because the other mommy can't carry the baby, you know? So I'm glad that he kind of understands what's going to happen, so that at the end of it, he's not like shocked about not having a brother or sister. Another question I received was if there were any special restrictions on my diet. And aside from the obvious of drinking alcohol, I'm also restricted from having caffeine, at least during this cycle protocol. But other than that, there aren't any like dietary restrictions as far as like food goes or anything like that. There haven't been any special requests by the intended parents on what they would like me to eat. But I've been planning on definitely like just something for my personal health as well. Eating more salads and substituting white rice for brown rice when I eat out. But other than that, there aren't any like special restrictions on my eating. I was asked how the process works. So a very basic like overview of how the process works is basically going through agency, right? Is that so you sign up for the agency and then they reach out to you, and then there's more paperwork that you fill out just to sign up, and you build a profile, and then they present your profile to different intended parents, and the intended parent chooses you based on your profile, and then you guys meet, and after you meet, you guys decide if you want to choose each other, and then after that, you have to go through a psychological evaluation, a medical evaluation, and after those both clear, then you meet with a doctor so that they can clear you. There's also a point of time where after intended parents choose you, their IVF doctor reviews your medical profile from your last pregnancy, and on a case-by-case basis, he determines if he thinks that you're suitable enough to carry the baby. So, for me, my very first match was denied because of my son's birth weight. But then after that, the IVF doctors had approved me, like the next doctor had approved me. So after you get approved by the doctors, I'm trying to remember, you start to move into the legal contracts. So basically you and the intended parents both go through, you know, the legal aspects of the surrogacy contract, and then after that is when you start the medication. And the medication initially starts as just birth control, the prenatal pills, and the baby aspirin. And then they slowly work the injections in, which will start with the Lupron shots, and then followed by Lupron and Delestrogen, and then followed by Delestrogen and Progesterone. Because by the time you start the Progesterone, you're done with the Lupron shots. So that is the medication until you get your transfer, amongst like other pills, because you're still going to be taking pills. And then that's it up until your transfer, and then you're just kind of waiting for the embryo to stick and for you to get a confirmed pregnancy. So I can't really think of any more questions that I wanted to answer. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can feel free to leave them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to my videos, and the next video you'll see is of me giving my injections. The next video is only one injection, but if you'd like to see the Delestrogen injection, which is it's similar, but it's a smaller injection. I do those on Mondays and Thursdays, so I can make a video for that one next time. Injection. So this is the progesterone. It's already filled with 2 cc's. So I'm just gonna remove this needle and dispense of it in my sharps container, and I'm gonna apply the needle that I'm gonna actually be using to give the injection. And then just do this for a little bit. I tried to ice the area, but the ice pack that I used, I bought out the store, wasn't cold enough. I prefer to use something that's actually frozen ice. So we'll see how this goes. But I mean, as long as I do it fast enough, I don't really feel anything. This is sore from the other days, but it has to happen. Is it this side? Yeah, it is. I think I should have the other side. I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing the right side. So this is the needle. I feel like yesterday I did this side. Okay, so, and then you just pull the syringe to make sure there's no blood, and there is none. So then proceed to inject 2 cc's of this progesterone oil. So again, I just want to thank you all for watching. I'm currently using this to heat up the area where I gave myself the injection this morning so that the oil dissolves, because if not, I'll be like in pain all day, just because the oil builds up and it feels like kind of hard, like a rock. So make sure you like and subscribe my video, refer a friend. I just want to share the experience of what it's like to be a surrogate, and hopefully someday somebody else might be interested in doing